Welcome, dear guests, our honorable VIP. Welcome to Pavilion, Indonesia. So before we proceed, I kindly invite you to please stir your attention to the big LED screen right in front of you.
Kembangan produksi jagung secara masif di kawasan ini tidak hanya terjadi di lahan-lahan milik masyarakat atau yang dikenal dengan sebutan tegalan, tetapi juga merambah ke kawasan hutan yang umumnya secara ilegal dan cenderung mengubah tutupan hutan yang sebelumnya dikelola secara lestari oleh masyarakat. Misalnya melalui tekanan terhadap keberadaan sumber daya hutan di Indonesia semakin meningkat, seiring dengan pertambahan penduduk dan kebutuhan atas lahan-lahan pertanian. Hal ini menimbulkan banyak masalah, seperti penurunan kesuburan tanah, kekeringan, erosi, ancaman bagi industri ternak, banjir, dan bahkan memicu perubahan iklim. Kerusakan kawasan hutan di Kabupaten Dompu sangat luas. Perkembangan produksi jagung secara masif di kawasan ini tidak hanya terjadi di lahan-lahan milik masyarakat atau yang dikenal dengan sebutan tegalan, tetapi juga merambah ke kawasan hutan yang umumnya secara ilegal dan cenderung mengubah tutupan hutan yang sebelumnya dikelola secara lestari oleh masyarakat. Misalnya melalui budidaya tanaman kemiri. Di antara petani dompu yang sedang gandrung budidaya jagung secara monokultur, ternyata masih ada sosok petani yang tetap kukuh mempertahankan pola tanam agroforestry. Beliau adalah Pak Zainuddin. Pak Zainuddin adalah salah satu di antara sedikit petani yang memilih untuk membudidayakan tanaman kemiri di antara jenis pohon lainnya.
Nama saya Jainuddin, anggota kelompok tani hutan Jaya Manovi, Desa Kramabura, Kecamatan Dompu, Kabupaten Dompu, Nusa Tenggara Barat. Yang pertama, tanaman ini kasihan, Pak. Kalau memang saya tebang ini bagaimana? Hutan itu rusak, kayu itu mati, sumber mata air itu kering, kemudian perasaan orang-orang di kota itu dihanyut, barang-barang dalam lemari, dan lain-lain, karena gara-gara penebangan kayu di atas ini seperti teman di kiri kanan ini, semuanya karena ikut jagung. Saya tidak mau. Waktu Menteri Kehutanan atas nama Hasrul Harab beritakan di TVRI itu, petani itu tidak bisa miskin karena menanam pohon sebesar jarum kecil bisa menghasilkan uang banyak. Itu yang pertama. Lalu yang kedua, tiada hari tanpa makan dan tiada hari tanpa tanaman. Akhirnya muncul pemikiran saya tahun 91. Oh, harus beginilah saya. Saya kerjakan ini dalam kawasan hutan ini dengan menanam pohon kemiri. Karena saya melihat pohon ini itu bagus buahnya, sehingga saya kembangkan sebanyak 50 pohon. Yang hidup sampai hari ini 37 pohon. Panen pertama, panen kedua bisa 5 kilo, panen ketiga bisa sampai 20 kilo. Sampai semua. Lebih kurang saya tanam tahun 91 ini bisa menghasilkan ratusan kilo. dari tahun 2019 kemarin, dari Dinas Kehutanan juga akan membantu memberikan bibit durian sebanyak 100 pohon. Dari tanaman itu dibantu lagi bibit dari Dinas Kehutanan. Ada durian, ada rambutan, ada alpoka. Dari tahun 2019 sampai hari ini, saya terima bibit itu setinggi sekitar 40 cm. Sekarang sudah mencapai 2 meter lebih. Berarti tambah bagus dan itu adalah kebanggaan bagi saya.
Okay, so the topic of our discussion today is how the social forestry is tackling climate change and also its best practices. So on this particular session, we will learn why social forestry become an important factor for Indonesia in an attempt to adapting and mitigating climate change and discovering what are the best practices in fostering sustainable forest management. So to start with, please join me in welcoming Bapak Zahrul Mutakin, who's going to lead the session. Pak Zahrul, it's yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Mbak Mona. Good morning. Sorry, it's already afternoon, I think. Because we compete with the lunch time, isn't it? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I see so many familiar and famous faces here. Thank you for coming. All the distinguished speakers here. Pak Dirjen PSKL, Pak Dirjen PHL, Pak Agus, Pak Bambang. We also see, wow, Ibu Frances Seymour. Welcome home, Ibu. I think the social forestry will be your fit during your tenure in sea foresting. Yes, today we will discuss about how community contribute to the sustainable forest management that leads to mitigation and adaptation to climate change. As you already aware, the local people who live inside and surrounding forests, I think, are the main stakeholders in ensuring that good forest management works and emission can be reduced, of course. Therefore, I think sharing best practices of the community-based forest management will inspire others to do the same. But to begin with this session, I would like to invite Dr. Bambang Supriyanto, the Director General of Social Forestry and Environmental Partnership, the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, to deliver his keynote speech. But before, I would like to read his short bio. Dr. Bambang is currently responsible for the Director General of Social Forestry and Environmental Partnership, and he was highly educated and awarded PhD in Management of Land and Forestry and a Master of Degree in Forest Policy and Planning in the University of Gent, Belgium. He also obtained a bachelor degree from Faculty of Forestry, Bogor Agricultural University. So he is very, very experienced in terms of forestry as well as the social forestry. Pak Bambang, floor is yours, Pak.
Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished college participants, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I welcome you all, the eminent speaker from the Ministry of Forestry and Environment, UN-RED FAO, Astra International, from IBB University, and also I welcome all of the participants that are attending this talk show session, community-led solution, how social forestry in tackling climate change and its best practices in Pavilion Indonesia COP28 Dubai. Ladies and gentlemen, social forestry is a national program in Indonesia that is aiming to deliver rural development and poverty alleviation for the people living in the forested area. With sustainable forest management and livelihood as a main strategies, social forestry is believed to be one of the strategic steps in mitigation and adaptation action by protecting natural forests and providing alternative source of income in order to improve the livelihood for the local communities and also to strengthen and improve the implementation of sustainable forest management for the Indonesia Volunetsing 2030. The target of the social forestry in Indonesia is 12.7 million hectares, located in the coastal, in the peatland, and also terrestrial ecosystem. As September 2023, the government of Indonesia has succeeded in distributing almost 10,000 units of social forestry permit, which is about 6.3 million hectares spread across all functions of the forest area managed by 1.3 million households or 4 to 5 million people beneficial from that forest. Meanwhile, the achievement of the adat forest, this is also very important, is about 244,000 hectares adat forest have been awarded to 131 communities. There is more than 836,000 hectares have been reserved for the adat forest. Access distribution to the community group to the low communities accompanied by the extension worker with the aim to facilitate to establishing of the institutional setup of the farmer group and also preparation of the social forestry forest management plans. Management plan consists of two components. The first is concerning land use by consensus, which is divided the area by protection zone for the spring, high slope, flora and fauna, habitat protection. And the second is utilization of the space for the agroforestry pattern with one of the villages, one cluster of the commodities, whose species selection depend on the suitable land and also the proper market. Social forestry business plan is usually to build microfinance investment, cooperation, and also off-taker market cooperation. As long as there is a market, forest productivity of social forestry forest will be sustainable. We have 10,230 social forestry business units that classified into 4 stages. The first is 1%, categorized as platinum or self-standing in export or product, and no government facilitation anymore. And 3.4% classified as gold or sustained and sustainable social forestry with a national or regional product market. And then 43% classified as silver. This is just for the implementation of the sustainable forest management. And the last, this is 47% classified as blue. That is just beginning, just received the social forestry degree. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a survey that was conducted by Katadata, one of the media and research company in Indonesia in 2020. The survey indicated that from 103 social forestry business group, out of 8,037 units agreed that the role of the facilitator is very important. And after 5 years of receiving social forestry approval, the income has elevated more than 72% or twice higher than before. As a consequence, the social forest capital in the forest area, the community communally protect the area from the illegal logging, illegal mining, and forest fire. This can be contribute to the climate change mitigation action. Ladies and gentlemen, in the social forestry also contribution, in social forestry also have contribution to the climate mitigation. There are three main strategies for the climate mitigation. This is reduction emission from the forest deforestation and degradation in dense social forestry, natural forests by carbon conservation. Otherwise, and moderate dense natural forests by carbon enhancement. This is forest rehabilitation, increasing of the forest productivity. And the second, this is forest rehabilitation in the degraded social forested area. And the third strategy is to promote sustainable forest management in production forests using agroforestry, silvopasture, silvofisheries, and agro-silvofisheries. These strategies will be implemented and strengthened in order to achieve Indonesia Follow Net Sink 2030 target, where 4 million hectares of social forestry are the main target of the Indonesia Follow Net Sink 2030 and will be carried out in 7 targets. The one is prevention of the mineral and pit deforestation, and the second is plantation forest development, and the third, enhance natural regeneration, and the fourth, additional of the carbon stock, mangrove management, water management, and the last is high conservation value. To understand the contribution of the social forestry to the emission reduction, we calculated the forest cover of 4.06 million hectares of social forestry follow target during the period of 2016 until 2021, compare the period of 2006 until 2015 as forest reference emission level. And the changing trend of this 3 periods indicated that the implementation of the social forestry can contribute 31.9 million tons CO2 equivalent to increasing national carbon stock to achieve Follow Net Sink 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, the role of the community are very important in climate change mitigation through social forestry program. Considering the community has invested through livelihood in the forest area, and the benefit can be felt sustainably so that they are willing to maintain their forests sustainably. That is my presentation. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. I hope we will have a fruitful discussion, and thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak Bambang, for a very insightful and inspiring talk, of course, about the achievement of social forestry program in Indonesia and its contribution, of course, to the climate action. Now we move on to the panel discussion, where we have 4 distinguished speakers today. First, I would like to introduce them. Please. The first speaker will be Dr. Amy Jushel, the FAO UN RED program. Please come to the stage. Sorry. And the second speaker is Professor Dodi Ridhono Rohmat, my longtime friend. Please, Pak. The third speaker is Ibu Diah Suran Febrianti from Astra, one of big companies in Indonesia, who are also working in social forestry. The last but not least, my colleague from the Ministry of Environment Forestry, Bapak Tubagus Aji Rahmansyah. Please come to the stage. Okay, we have already 4 speakers on the stage, and they will be talking or presenting in 10 minutes each, and then we will go for the Q&A. And without further ado, I invite the first speaker, Ms. Amy Jusel, to deliver her presentation about social forestry in Asian countries. Please, Dr. Jusel, time is yours.
Selamat pagi, selamat siang. Terima kasih atas undangannya. I'm Amy Duchel, Senior Forestry Officer at the Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN, and it's a privilege to be back in Indonesia through the beautiful pavilion that you always organize. We have some slides to accompany my remarks, if those could come up. Oh, I do it myself. Okay, very good. Okay. Fantastic. So today we will be talking about the UN RED program work on climate change mitigation through social forestry action in ASEAN countries. And before I start, I would like to acknowledge the colleagues behind this work, including Ms. Serena Fortuna, who's leading FAO's RED Plus team, Mathieu Van Rijn in the Regional Asia Pacific Office, who's leading the social forestry work on behalf of the team, and Ms. Ade Tamara, who's in our Indonesia office. I think all of the colleagues are online, and so I thank them for all of the good work and for preparing the presentation today. Okay, so it's very clear, and the science has shown the importance of community participation in forest and climate governance. Very clear evidence that local tenure security can help reduce deforestation and forest degradation and enhance forest carbon stocks. But a clear need that this need must continue, and further recognition and strengthening of the land rights of local communities and indigenous peoples, and a further need for information and data to support decision making, including at the community level and local climate action. So the story from ASEAN is really quite positive, and as we heard from Pak Bambang, and this growing momentum of social forestry in ASEAN, and Raykov TC, who's here today and a partner in the initiative, has reported an increase in social forestry from 2010 to 2019, essentially a doubling of the area, and that's very positive. And then, of course, the strong political commitment on social forestry in Indonesia, which we heard just from our keynote speaker, which is absolutely fundamental for moving these kinds of processes forward. But of course, despite all the progress, there's still challenge. Some of the challenges relate to data and regulations, so unclear and not geo-referenced information on social forestry and related emission reductions can be improved. And certain regulations to support social forestry could be enhanced. Financial and economic challenges. I mean, despite all of the recognition of the importance of local communities in climate action, the climate finance is still not necessarily flowing to the local level, and sort of the economic and business rationale for social forestry not well documented, and a limited understanding by banks and financial intermediaries about the importance of sustainable social forestry business models, and current high reliance on grants or philanthropic investment, which is important but limited. So there are some good lessons learned from the UN RED program, and that's through the technical assistance. For all of you who don't know the UN RED program, that's FAO, UNEP, and UNDP, supporting many countries, I think 65 countries globally on RED Plus. And FAO's contribution to social forestry has really been through the voluntary guidelines for the governance of tenure and support in countries where we work. And you can read some of the lessons learned from that experience so far on the screen in front of you. And the UN RED ASEAN Social Forestry Initiative is really important because it's linking social forestry and indigenous peoples' rights to nationally determined contributions in the countries, and in the case of Indonesia, to the FOLO Net Sink 2030 targets. the idea here, and there's a bunch of key partners, and it's really, of course, not only FAO, but UNEP, ASEAN, RECOF-TC, the NTFP exchange program, among others. And the idea is really to strengthen the evidence base for climate change mitigation through social forestry action and facilitate its integration into the NDCs, and of course, enhance climate finance opportunities. And the focal countries for this initiative are Indonesia, Laos PDR, and Cambodia. And there are a series of outputs that are listed that contribute to those broader goals. So here's a flow chart that illustrates the ASEAN Social Forestry Initiative in Indonesia. And you can see there's sort of monitoring components as well as the non-carbon, benefit components as well, really focusing on support to the NDC and follow net sink target through improvement of methods and capacities in carbon accounting and promoting non-carbon benefits from social forestry implementation that ultimately result in better decision making, more climate finance and climate finance that gets to the ground, and then enhanced monitoring and reporting for social forestry. And again, through the multi-country approach, there's a wonderful opportunity to share the lessons learned, including in the context of the ASEAN social forestry and climate change. And one of the examples, here are some examples of the kind of work that's being done to really show the contribution of social forestry to climate mitigation. And some of that has to do with, quantifying, supporting the quantification that you're already doing, in fact, of the emissions and removals associated with social forestry through enhanced activity data and combined with emission factors, but then also, some recommendations for more robust calculations that can support the efforts already underway, as well as qualitative analysis of the extent of social forestry and the enabling conditions, including those that maybe need further attention to really support the growth of social forestry on the ground. And then further development of methodologies on carbon accounting for social forestry in line with what you're already doing on the IPCC. And then, of course, the business case. I mean, that's absolutely important if we're going to mobilize further investment in social forestry, and the idea to create a holistic, sustainable, and replicable model for the development financing of social forestry enterprises. And so the idea is that, looking at some key non-timber forest products, timber products, doing an assessment, and then scoring the potential of those value chains along a series of criteria, and combined with a value chain analysis to provide recommendations for enhancing some of the social forestry enterprises around key products. So again, I conclude that there is the momentum to continue boosting the key role of communities in fighting climate change while enhancing livelihoods. This is our win-win solutions here, and the more support we can provide, the better. That the impact of social forestry can be further boosted through jurisdictional approaches, leveraging on common efforts to achieve higher results and enabling a more comprehensive capture of effects. And the UN-ASEAN Social Forestry Initiative key results are expected next year in 2024, and hopefully providing support for your efforts. With that, I thank you, and the colleagues listed in this slide are those who you can contact for further information. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy, for sharing the progress, opportunities, challenges, as well as lessons to be learned of social forestry in the Asian region, and as well as in Indonesia. Yes, it memorized and remember me that my PhD thesis 10 years ago is also about this one. So yeah, that's why now I invite Professor Dodik Nurrohmat to present the concept and best practices of social forestry in tackling climate change in Indonesia. Prof. Dodik, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a slide. Not yet. Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ikan hiu makan teri. I love you social forestry. Yeah. Jalan kelegian kekasih dituntun. Berkemah di Uluwatu saja. Cukup sekian saya punya pantun, udah gitu aja. Supaya nggak ngantuk. Oke. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share about the theory and practice of social forestry and its potential social forestry potential to address climate change. Yes, how social forestry is tackling climate change. The first is following the national development goals. Yeah, we have three basic principles for our national development goals. The first is justice, and then welfare and sustainable. So social forestry should following the climate justice, not climate equality. It is very important. Yeah, we should consider climate justice rather than climate equality. And then we have to consider welfare, social welfare, and sustainability. So justice is like in the right hand, yeah, is different with equality. And if we talk sustainability, we should talk about the growing sustainability, not a stable sustainability. Sustainability is dynamic, not static. So social forestry should follow the dynamic sustainability. So the second one is following the scientific approach, because social forestry is actually scientific. Social forestry is not just a charity. Yeah? Social forestry is not charity. Social forestry actually follow the scientific approach, because by social forestry, by making community forest management, partnership between government and community, partnership between company and community, then social forestry will reduce the governance cost. Yeah, it is scientific. Yeah, and this graph is delivered by Regina Birner and Heidi Whitmer. Yeah, in 2000. Yeah? So I think we have to follow the scientific approach, measurable, evidence-based, and achievable. Evidence-based, not facts-finding. It is different. Not facts-finding, but evidence-based. So, because scientific always follow the evidence. So we should give a evidence-based policy rather than facts-finding. Yeah. And the third one, yeah, this is sorry. Kok loncat-loncat, Pak? Oke. Yang bawah ya. So then the third one is following the reduction emission target. Yeah, this should be measurable, evidence-based, and achievable. And it is unique evidence, not a unique, but it is like evidence that per capita income, yeah, has a strong relation with the emission, with the per capita emission. The higher per capita income usually has also the higher per capita emission. So I think it is not easy task for us, yeah, as a developing country, to formulate the best program, the best strategy to increase the economic growth while in the same time also decreasing emission per capita emission. And the social forestry is the only way, or one of the strategic way, yeah, to increase per capita income while at the same time also decreasing emission per capita. Why? Yeah, in Indonesia we have still have a 35 million hectare of unforested area in the forest zone. So we have to reforestate, yeah, those 35 million hectare of area by social forestry. And if we do, then it is potentially will recover the forest, but at the same time also increasing the per capita income. And I have also the recent scientific article, yeah, that evaluate the target of the government of Indonesia to achieve a high income country in 2045. Yeah. So we without any further efforts to make a better governance, then according to our simulation, yeah, it is still difficult to achieve high-income country in 2045. But by improving the governance, including social forestry, then it would be achieved. Yeah. Okay. Kok balik lagi, Mas? Okay, and this is the social forestry, why or how social forestry work. So social forestry can work to maintain, yeah, the the sustainable forest management, or social forestry can improve, yeah, the unforested area to be a forest. Yeah, we call it afforestation or reforestation. So it is yeah, not so complicated actually, but if you are Indonesian, you should understand about the difference between forest zone and forested area. So I think it is a typical Indonesia. Yeah, sometimes it is difficult to distinguish kawasan hutan and hutan, but I do hope that with this simple graph, it should be easier to understand, yeah, about the definition. And this is how social forestry work in the very complicated, this is actually not so complicated, but if we put, yeah, carbon trading mechanism, yeah, in a graph, I think, yeah, we have to discuss about this kind of what is this, a graph, yeah, and Pak Dirjen, Dr. Bambang Supriyanto told me that, yeah, there are a huge amount of result-based payment, potential result-based payment for social forestry. I think it is a very good, very nice, yeah, very good news, yeah, to develop a further social forestry in Indonesia, rather than just waiting for secondary carbon market, yeah, because it is potential, but we're still waiting for the proper regulation. And this is the best practices, social forestry in Indonesia. Yeah, we have visited and have some plots in several areas. Yeah, it is social agroforestry in Jambi. Yeah, oil palm-based agroforestry. Yeah, our long-term collaboration with Göttingen University, German. Yeah, more than 12 years, and you can see that actually agroforestry even, yeah, could be also done in oil palm plantation. It is 4 years old, 3 plants, and 8 years old, 12 years old oil palm plantation. So you can see the canopy is already very nice. Yeah, and the second one in the middle up is the avocado trees in Lampung. Yeah, it solved the problem of tenure conflict after more than 40 years. Yeah, after 40 years, then social conflict has been addressed by planting fruit trees, yeah, mostly avocado. And the farmer got income, yeah, 10 times, yeah, rather than oil palm. So in a year, they got about 400 million rupiah per hectare per year. Yeah, so it is incredible. And also agroforestry in Kediri with pineapple and also balsa, yeah, balsa trees and kajuput oil also have 100 million rupiah per hectare per year. And here below, yeah, left is durian Sepitunus in Ngebel and Ponorogo, yeah, my hometown, yeah, also give a very incredible income, yeah, about 300, 400. And it is interesting, even though for the for the mining, yeah, mining restoration in Gresik, East Java, yeah, this is becoming an ecotourism area that can change the poor village become the most richest forest in Indonesia. Yeah, the name is Stigi Ecotourism and the Desa Skapuk, yeah, Skapuk village and Gresik area. And this our activity with Astra, yeah, with Bu Diah and Pak Bambang, yeah, planting fruit trees and other trees in Garut, West Java. And this is our simple calculation about the potential benefits of social forestry to achieve volume. So assuming that all targets of social forestry, 12.7 million hectare, could be achieved, then actually, yeah, the target of volume, we can reach easily in the target of volume. Yeah, but actually to achieve 12.7 million hectares is also very difficult. At the time, we still, according to information, last information from Pak Dirjen, we just 6.3, achieve reach 6.3 million hectare. So I think it is quite good, So at least more than half of the follow net sink target will achieve by social forestry. And the institution is also very important. So IPB University introduced OFOC. OFOC is one village, one CEO. Why OFOC is important? Because at the time, less and less young people want to be a farmer, but they will to be a CEO. Even though the CEO is CEO of BUMDes, village company CEO. I think it is very important to make a better communication and the concrete strategy, because I think it is a true evidence, experiences in some countries, like in Japan, also in Indonesia. There are no more girl will married to farmer. It is in reality. Not many girls will marry to farmer, but they will marry to CEO. So, so we make a program, one village, one CEO. And the young people becoming a young CEO for the village company, BUMDes. So it was very successful, and we can survive during the pandemic situation, and we already exported some agroforestry products, coffee, compost, and several other products to several countries, with this kind of program. Now we have more than 300 villages, with OFOC, and this year it will be expanded until about 300 villages. I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pak Dodi, for connecting the concept and best practices of social forestry in contributing to climate action, as we just learned about how the concept and then the best practices for and also the strategy to climate action. The next speaker, I think, is coming from the private sector, one of the main stakeholders in addressing climate change. Astra is one big company in Indonesia operating in many areas, including forestry. And Ms. Diah Suran Febrianti will illustrate how Astra is contributing to social forestry. Ibu Diah, floor is yours, Bu.
Thank you, Pak Syahrul. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, colleagues, and also fellow audience. I think it's also Excellency, our remarkable speakers and moderator today. And it's an honor for me to be here to address to such an esteemed audience. Let me start with one quote. Climate resilience is not an option. It's a necessity for our survival in changing the world. That means that it's crucial for us to take a time to tackling it through an actions. That's why today, with IPB University and also Pak Bambang and others parties here, we are very thrilled to share on our insight about one of our journey in climate resilience collaboration program on follow net sink through social forestry development. Well, I will start with introducing Astra first. Astra was founded in 66 years ago. Astra Ideas has been prosper with the nations, and currently we have 7 business lines with spread across 270 companies in 1,800 installations. And right now we have more than 200 employees that working together with the same spirit to be an asset to the nations as our philosophy. Other than the economic progress, Astra also have the proud legacy on environment and social responsibility programs that leading from the 4 sectors: environment, health, education, and entrepreneurships. And right now we have fostered more than 1,200 villages and hamlets that includes 4 of our social programs. And specifically, since 2 years ago, we developed the social forestry developments that integrate 2 aspects of our social program, environment and entrepreneurship, to foster the community, support the climate resilience, as well as the community empowerment without compromising the welfare of the community. And we talk about the Astra social forestry progress right now. We have planned over to 1,400 hectare social forestry area in 4 provinces, start from the North Sumatra, in the West Java, Central Java, and Yogyakarta. We have planned more than 800 trees across this area. We collaborate with the social forestry enterprises or business unit, we call KUPS, and collaborate with the governments and also the academics. We develop social forestry management. And this is the key point on these programs, that Astra promotes implementations of social forestry developments that may maximize the utilizations of the forest wealth without disruption and lessening the function of the forest itself, through the avoiding deforestation and accelerating reforestation. This is the models of our program on social forestry developments, starting with the collective agreement with governments and also the social forestry enterprises or KUPS and academic as a facilitators. Astra providing assistance to KUPS to planting the tree, conserve, maintain, and also harvesting non-timber product of the forest. And Astra also encourage community to maintain forest ecology responsible. And currently, Astra also start to initial study on carbon sequestrations that right now still underway to submit to the national registration system under Ministry of Environment and Forestry. With community, Astra devised an agroforestry approach, combining the forestry plan and multi-purpose species trees. That composition includes 30% of the forest tree, 30% of the endemic fruit tree, and also 40% of the commodity crops. And this agroforestry composition study, based on the study of the expert and academics, part of the Prof. Dodi team in IPB University. And thank you for the governments that support us on these elaborations. MOA provides directions for us to choose the locations and the KUPS that is ready to collaborate with private sectors. Yeah, and next. Yeah, and this is a kind of the direct and indirect impact of these programs, including in the direct impact, in addition to strengthening cooperation to support the follow net sink targets, there is also enhancing of the community roles on gaining the competitive edge in climate mitigation and also climate adaptations. Why is that so? Because Astra, with the community provide the fertilizer product and seeds on tree planting program in these programs. And besides that, Astra also support 10,000 farmers in the 100 villages around the area forest to promoting higher quality of the non-timber commodity productions. And also we facilitate to market penetrations with the off-taker. That's why the projection value of this project to the community is more than 10 10 million rupiah. And we hope that all this product can be export someday after they have produced all the commodity groups. And of course, in the indirect impact, there are three aspects of the impact consist from ecological aspect, social culture impact, and also social economical impact. Well, this is maybe some of the area of the social forestry program that have been underway run right now. There are Garut area. We collaborate with the community Tambak Baya and Albayina. We plan not only forestry plan, but also the fruit and commodity crops, avocado, durians, and also coffee. In Banyumas area, in the central of Java, we collaborate with the community of Karang, Salam, and Pekuncen. We plant a forestry tree and also coconut, aren, and Robusta coffee. In the Samosir area, North Sumatra, we collaborate with the Silau Raja community. We plant forestry tree, avocado, candle nut, and also coffee. Yes, okay. I think that's all for us, and I will close my sharing with reminding with the previous quotes that climate resilience is not an option. There's time for us to take an action, and together we can make a real difference in the fight in the climate change. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ibu Dia, for presenting a walking model of private sector in a social forestry. Then the last presenter in our panel is Mr. Tubagus Aji Rahmansyah. He will present mitigation for and adaptation to climate change through social forestry program, especially through the strengthening of social forestry project, a collaborative project between the GF and the Ministry of Environment and Forestry. Please, Pak Aji, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zahrul. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here I am Aji from Ministry of Forestry, but here I also speak on behalf of the strengthening of social forestry project. Today, after you hear about the explanation about the social forestry policy from Mr. DG, Mr. Bambang Suprianto, and then how the networking or institutional support from Ms. Amy and Prof. Dodik already explained you about how the calculation about the benefit from social forestry, and then the last is how the private sector support for the social forestry, and the last one is I want to tell you or share about how is the best practice about the social forestry action in the mitigation and also adaptation and climate change. Here I will share about the ecotourism effort from the community from the project. It is LPHN Taram. So before we continue about the LPHN Taram, first I want to just glance about the projects. First, it is collaborative project between GF and MoEF, and it is 5 years duration since 2021, and then located in 6 regency for the 4 province. And the key indicator for the project is first is about how to delivering the permit or the license to the community, and then that permit or license is being managed sustainably, and then how the benefit from the greenhouse gas mitigated is around 9.2 million ton CO2 equivalent, and the last one is our target is how to give the benefit impact either direct or indirectly to around 150,000 person, and 30% is women. And the objective is we have strengthening policy, and then strengthening community capacity, and the last one is project management and monitoring and evaluation. Now we talk about the best practice in LPHN Taram, where LPHN Taram is one of the community that get the license from the ministry in 2017, this is one of the part of the scheme of social forestry. This is the village forest where the license giving to the village institution, and the total area is around 800 hectare to 2,066 household, and the total population on the village is around 8,516 person. And this is the picture of the map of the place, the site of the LPH Taram, and the under of the map is we can see the one of the main product from the LPHN. It is ecotourism, and then also oyster mushroom, lemongrass, and also honey. But next we will more discuss, or I will give you more information about the success of the ecotourism that giving to the community. Before I tell you more about the ecotourism that give benefit to the local community, let's see the short video from the effort of the LPHN Taram to develop their ecotourism.
Kapala Banda is an irrigation dam built to irrigate the agricultural land of the local community. Because of its natural beauty, this location later became a tourist attraction. This then made the Wali Nagari or village head close the Kapala Banda tourist area, because it was no longer in line the custom and religion of the Minang realm. In 2014, several yachts from the Karang Taruna, they invited the yachts to re-managing the Kapala Banda tour. The Taram location has now become a tourist spot that attracts many domestic tourists, especially during the peak holiday season. They can reach 10,000 people per day. Local community receive other economic benefits through the opportunity to sell food, drink, and handicraft. Community has seen the Taram area as essential to increasing people's income. So the community do not have to cut down trees or destroy forests to fulfill their daily needs. Indirectly, awareness of the need to protect nature began to grow.
Yes, from that short video, we can see that how the ecotourism effort from the local community shifting the way people who treat the forest, because previously they cut down the tree and using the place for the, maybe we can call it, and then next it's become main purpose of the development of the village. This is the picture, some picture of the Kapala Banda ecotourism, and then this is I want to share about how big the economic benefit from the Kapala Banda, the ecotourism, to the community. So from actually they developed the ecotourism from 2014, so it's about 8 years development, but now become the tourist attraction, domestic attraction. And if we just seeing from the ticket in the peak season, they can reach about 10,000 people per day. And if we calculate it just for the price of the ticket is 5,000 per person, and the income will earn about 50 million rupiah per day. And then if we see another economic benefit from the ecotourism, other than the ticket, they also get benefit from the restroom and washroom, and then the floating rent and also rakit rent. So in total it's around 5 billion rupiah for just one day in the peak season. And from the right graph, you can see that how the income year by year from the ecotourism revenue. Now, after we talk about the economic benefit, because this is social forestry, we are not talking about how to people get benefit economic, but we also have to think about how the forest is being managed sustainably. We can see that from 2016 until 2023, the land cover, it's at least it's maintained, but it is also become better. From the picture, you can see that there is no reduce or maybe decrease of the land use. So we believe that even in 2016 we see that actually the forest is good. Some of people think that if we give the good forest to the people, and then they may destruct the forest, but actually it's not. But actually they maintain the forest for their own goodness. So to conclude, actually the social forestry, we believe that community tenure right is will be strengthened, and the collective action in forest management and community livelihood is also developed. And the last one is capacity on harmonizing the farming tradition from the community with the sustainable forest management is happen. So the closing statement is actually social forestry is not only about how to increase the income generation or livelihood of community, but also will maintain the forest and make the forest sustainably. Thank you, Mr. Zahrul.
Thank you, Baji, for presenting SFF project where we can learn how SSF can transform the livelihoods of the local peoples that leads to the better forest condition. Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard from the keynote speaker on also the panelists about the concept, policies, best practices, and international linkages of social forestry. Now we have about 20 minutes to hear not just from the speakers, but also from the floor. Some suggestions, questions, maybe information about social forestry and its contribution to social action. I will invite about 3 question or suggestion, and I heard that there will be a token of appreciation about that. So let's see from the committee. I see one from here, one here, and in the behind. So please, Bu Tami first. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm having actually 2 questions. The first one is for Pak Aziz. The first thing that I want to say that I'm very happy to see that the target for the main beneficiaries of SSF, 30% is women. So I think this is quite great to put directly that 30% of the main beneficiary is women. In related to that, I'd like to know what is the strategy of SSF in order to strengthen the role of women, so that we can see that this is not only the target, but it also walk the talk. So can you please just explain about the strategy? And the second one is, Prof. Dodik, are you ready to make a kind of research in order to prove that the role of women in social forestry is very important? Because when we are talking about the role of women, sometimes people say that, okay, women is still there, but what is the proof? What is so are you ready as a researchers just to make a proof that woman is very important in social forestry? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pak Tami. I think we collect the question first though, because we only have 10 minutes. Then David, please.
Hello, David Gans from Recoff. I was very impressed to see the survey results from 2000 on the implications of social forestry, but we also know that kind of survey was done before COVID-19. I was wondering if the government has opportunity to repeat the survey and to look now at the efficacy of social forestry after COVID-19, as the impact and the socioeconomic impact has scaled up, and obviously inflation has hit the region. I'm just curious if there's opportunities to repeat the survey and see how social forestry is effectively giving communities what they need at the right time and the right place. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, David. This is for all the speakers, David? Okay, thank you. Pak Bambang. Okay, okay, then Pak Bambang will respond. Then Faris, I think.
Hello, I'm Faisal Parish, Global Environment Center from Malaysia. I think very good presentations, very good, informative. Just like some feedback from relevant panel members about the importance of the community organization in the success story. Our experience in Malaysia is it's very important to find either key champion or to create the right sort of community group to ensure the sustainability and that the benefits of social forestry flow to the broader community rather than selected individuals. So what experience from Indonesia of this and how important is creating the right community group structure? Any good experience? Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Faisal. And then I would like to invite the response first from Pak Bambang first to respond David's question. Please, Pak.
Okay, Pak David, that is true. This is the research conducted in the year of 2020 before COVID. And then we are going, of course, to research again after pandemic, COVID. Of course, together with all of you from university, from NGO and others. Because the impact of the COVID is significantly. We introduced the program, what we call as economic recovery. Because during the COVID, our budget shifted for the health and also how to recover in terms of the economic. In terms of the distribution of the access, you are right, because the number, normally every year, we give the access to the community is almost 1 million hectares a year. But during the COVID pandemic, only 400,000 hectares. So we are going to accelerate and also to increase the quality of the community of the social forestry. This is for you, of course. And the second, for Pak Faisal, distribution access to the community is not enough. So that our strategy, we are going to, accompany one farmer group, one facilitator. But our reality, we have now is almost 10,000 farmer group. But for the facilitator, only 2,000 facilitator. Then our strategy is how to encourage the local champions. The actors from the local should be, with the local wisdom and traditional knowledge enhanced, for the in terms of the capacity, for the facilitating, for the institutional of the setup of the farmer group, and also how to create the forest management, and also how to connect the business plan to the, to the microfinance, and also for the market, of course, the market. Last but not least, this is about climates, because we already calculated the delta for the contribution of social forestry for the climates. We already received result-based payment actually from the Global Climate Fund and also Norway. So 30% we are using to accelerate the distribution, also to enhance the quality, but the 70% return back to the community to invest again for the sustainable and also for the livelihood for themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Bambang. Thank you. Applause for Pak Bambang. Then from Mas Aji, maybe can respond a specific question.
Okay, thank you. Actually, all the question can be answered by Mr. Bambang.
Already.
He is the big boss and I just the implementator.
Yes, just.
Okay, maybe I will answer about the role of the women, the beneficiary of the women for the 30% in the project. Yes, actually what the project will be done is related to the policy that already being stated by the government. So the first thing is we encourage that the woman will be stated the name in the permit or the license. And then the second is absolutely how to encourage the woman the participation. So we will doing some like the training and also giving the block grant and encourage the women group business because so they can develop to develop about the utilization of the forest. I think that is the most important. So we are not only taking them on the activity, but they will also, the women also taking a role and important part from the planning and then action, also the evaluation of the activity of social forestry. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Haji. Then Prof. Dodik to respond.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, we are more than ready, Bu. Because, you know, IPB is Institute Perempuan Bogor. Yeah, like a Bogor Women University. Because the percentage of the boys, yeah, the men of our students is only 37%. So 63% is women. So we have to protect men rather than women in our university. Yeah, but about the equality of role, it is important, yeah, to differentiate the role and activities. It is important to make sure the equality role of women rather than the same activities of between women and men. So like agroforestry in Bandung Selatan, in Southern Bandung, Cafe Agroforestry, the woman has a very important role in preparing everything for the men to maintain the agroforestry activities, like preparing food and so on, yeah, and also in the marketing aspect. So don't think that equality of between women and men is like the same activities for climbing. So no. Whether a woman is climbing also, no. But the woman also have the very important role in preparing anything, yeah, for the men to making the activities, and also in marketing aspect. Like in the traditional forestry, usually woman has a very important role in seedling, maintenance, and marketing. Like a furniture, for example. Yeah, the artisan, the craftsman, usually the name is craftsman, not a craft woman. The crafter, the craft usually is a man. But you know, the determinant actor in buying furniture is woman. We have some studies that if a family goes to the market, to the outlets, furniture outlets, who will give the authority or decision in buying furniture? It's not men, woman. It's independent who has the money, but the decision maker is woman. So it is important for the craftsman, for the artisan to consult with a woman to making design. So the design should be woman decision, because the decision maker for buying furniture is woman. This is like the equal role rather than activities. It is in my mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Dodi. I would like to invite Ibu Dia to respond to all the questions.
Okay, thank you. I just want to add some of our lesson learned, Bu, in our Desa Sejahtera Astra that includes in the social forestry programs. Actually, we involve women in the process when, actually the farmers are mainly male. And then we involve the women to produce the downstream product of the non-timber forestry tree. Just like in the Banyumas, we plant the coconuts, and then the women involved in the producing the palm sugar in their factory. And then coffee also in the North Sumatra, when the farmers are mainly male, and then his wife will involve in the producing the coffee itself. So I think there's some of our lesson learned in this project.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Dia. Amy, any thoughts?
I mean, maybe, yes, thank you. Maybe just to say that in the UN RED program, gender is actually really at the core of everything that has been done. And that's, I mean, UN RED is celebrating 15-year anniversary this year. And so it's 15 years of experience of really understanding that you can't have effective, efficient, and equitable RED Plus without broad participation and real local ownership, including of women. And so I think that's something that is absolutely learned through the program in general. And then, you know, I think, again, what I've heard on the panel, I just maybe can comment. I really like this link with the adaptation that you've made, Pak. I mean, livelihoods and the, you know, ecosystem services and products that forests provide for local livelihoods, those are also adaptation services, and those support local communities under increasing climate change and more dire conditions. And so, you know, even though our program in this region has come from the mitigation angle, the adaptation is also absolutely joined. And we've even started not separating the two at FAO. It's always mitigation and adaptation together when we're talking about forest and climate change. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Pak Bambang, do you want some?
Yeah, I'm going to add with a very important lesson learned in terms of the policy. So in our ministerial decree, they said that the beneficial for the social forestry is not only for the male, but also female. This is the one. And the second, this is very important also, the leader, it can be also woman. So the target of the social forestry in terms of the proportion, at least 30%. But until now, we only still reaching 21% of the women. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Bambang. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have heard from all the speakers. Just to amplify what Jack Westoby said, challenge the forestry world in 1967. Forestry is not about trees. It is about people. And it is about trees only insofar as trees can serve the needs of people. This is the challenge that then answered by social forestry. With that, I conclude this session. Thank you very much.